Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to our channel. Once again, it's me, your baby bro QuickSilver 15, back with another video. And today we'll be reviewing WandaVision. Yes, finally. So the series has finally wrapped up, and we can finally put the hammer down on this Wanda full wing series. So in this review, we'll be going deep into spoiler territory. So only watch this if you have seen the final episode of WandaVision, and consider this your first and only warning. So once again, we get to see the aftermaths of years of MCU continuity through the eyes of Wanda Maximoff and how she's coping with everything that's happened essentially to the entire MCU. So we got the Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier, the Wakanda Accords, the Sokovian Accords, and yeah, it's basically everything that's traumatized her in her entire life, and of course, topping everything off with the death of the Vision during Endgame. So this show mainly focuses on actually Wanda Maximoff going through the stages of grief, and if you've ever lost a loved one, then you would probably relate. So we've got denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and of course, finally but not the least, is acceptance. And we get to see that in a very meaningful way at the very end of this series. Of course, spoiler, Vision is alive, kind of alive now, so we have to see where that goes in the future. Of course, they didn't really meet at the very end, so yeah, we'll have to stay tuned to what's gonna happen next to the MCU to find out if Wanda and Vision do get their happy ending at the end. So as I said in our previous mid-season review, the first 3 episodes of WandaVision is actually rather boring if you're not into old sitcoms, because that kind of sets up the tone for the rest. And if you do power through the first 3 episodes, which I suggest you do, because those 3 episodes are just super significant at the end, and you'll get why they had to shoot it that way at the end. Well, not actually the end, but second to the last episode, they just reveal why Wanda was so into sitcoms, and it made me cry. Hopefully it makes you cry as well. So that kind of brought tears to my eyes, because you know it was really heartbreaking that Wanda as a kid only had these sitcoms to hold on to in her troubled life. They were growing up, they were in like a war zone, so just having these sitcoms with her family kind of brought peace to their lives, until of course lots of bad things started to happen. But yeah, again, sitcoms were always there for Wanda, and I guess a lot of us nerds can relate to that. You know, if it's not movies, there are TV series and comics and games that just help us get through the day somehow. So yeah, that was very kind of touching for me. So the entire cast of WandaVision just gave such amazing performances. You'd really fall in love with most, if not all of them. Of course, most notable the most notable characters are Wanda, of course, and her pseudo villain Agnes Harkness. And And I was actually rooting for Agnes to not be the main bad guy of the series, because I kind of wanted her to be essentially a mentor to Wanda at the end. So after the second to the last episode, I was really hoping she would just do a complete 360 and become actually a mentor that would help her against, who was the bad guy? The generic evil CIA head guy. Yes. But I guess again, after her cryptic last words were somewhere along the lines of, "You'll need me when shit hits the fan," and Wanda goes, "Then I'll know where to find you." So maybe that's hinting that somewhere along the line, maybe during Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, she would need Agnes's help to deal with some
demonic
problems of sorts. So one of the characters I believe none of us were expecting to come to this series is Evan Peters' QuickSilver, because of course we do have another QuickSilver in the MCU, and it was just such a surprise to see Evan Peters. Of course, he is the QuickSilver from the Fox's X-Men universe, and it was just such a shock to see him in this series. And of course, sadly, I think they did him a bit dirty, because, well, he turns out to be just a regular guy who Agnes powered up. And I believe most of the fans were expecting some sort of multiverse connection where he would be the beacon for how the rest of the X-Men comes to the MCU. Sadly, that's not the case, but hopefully we do get that soon, because I think a lot of the fans are really screaming and clamoring for more X-Men in the MCU. So the ending of WandaVision definitely brought more questions than answers. So instead of wrapping up the story, it essentially opened up just a plethora of plot points where the rest of the MCU could go and pick up from. And yeah, definitely it wasn't as strong an ending as I would have hoped and what I would have wanted to see, but you know, it's a passable ending. And yeah, it's more of a setup to what other things are yet to come, like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, of course. And I'm not sure how everything will tie off to Spider-Man, because they were talking about Spider-Man. Maybe Monica Rambeau would have something to do with Spider-Man. Maybe Agent Wong? Was it Agent Wong? Agent Wu, I mean. Maybe Agent Wu, or maybe Darcy, because she's MIA during the last scenes of the WandaVision. Or I don't know. What do you guys think? How will it tie up to Spider-Man? What's the official title for Spider-Man now? Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah. So just to sum up some of the plot points, so just to sum up the stories of some of the major characters of this series. So we're gonna talk about the ending and the two post-credit scenes. Yes, there are two actually. So there's a mid-credit scene and an actual end-credit scene. So do stay till the very end, guys, because I think you would. It's easily missable. It's easily missable. So stay tuned for the very end. So keep on watching till the very end. So yeah, first we have the two visions. So we have the Hex Vision. He deteriorated, of course, after the Hex went down. And the original Vision, the one that the sword revived, actually seemingly have been woken up, or I think Hex Vision kind of gave him his memories back. So, and he flew off far away, so we don't really get to see what happened to him. Hopefully we do get to see him in future MCU episodes. future MCU stuff, movie series. I don't know where he'll pop up next, but yeah, we'll definitely see him though. So again, Darcy is MIA. Hopefully she's going into her next adventure into the MCU somewhere. Yeah, so also Agent Wu will also most likely see him in Ant-Man, because you know he is one of the best side characters in Ant-Man. And of course the Maximoff twins got hexed out of existence after the hex disappeared as well. Maybe they'll come back at a future time. I'll talk more about that later. Of course, Agatha Harkness was made docile by Wanda again, putting her in a spell, a trance, making her believe that she is a sitcom character, a nosy neighbor of sorts. Definitely we'll have to look out for when she comes back as Agatha in one of the future MCU stuff. Again, hopefully that's Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and quote me on that. Maybe she will help Wanda for good or bad in one of the future MCU stuff. So yeah, also we do have Monica Rambeau talking about an aerospace engineer, and who is just the most amazing aerospace engineer in the MCU, more than Reed Richards. And of course, if you are a comic book reader, Agatha Harkness is also the caretaker for Reed Richards' kids at some point, so maybe there is a Fantastic Four connection after all. Maybe, I don't know. So now we're gonna go into one of the best endings of this series, and of course it's Wanda's ending, where we seemingly see her in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, seemingly trying to live a quiet life, when, gasp, we go into the next room and there are two Wandas. So she's kind of doing like an out of body thing. Maybe she's doing like the Hermione to doppelganger magic stuff. But yeah, there's just two Wandas. One Wanda is in full Scarlet Witch mode. She's kind of doing the Doctor Strange Bot Shiva thing with the hands thing, and she's reading the book floating in the air. So yeah, so you have to believe that she's kind of doing what Doctor Strange did, where she's just speeding up her learning of the mystic arts and magic and stuff. And of course she's reading the Darkhold. Of course, that's the Book of the Damned in the MCU. A lot of demon stuff. So it makes you think if Wanda will be the villain in one of the future MCU movies. Again, it does tie into Doctor Strange. So is she the villain of Doctor Strange? Will Doctor Strange help her? And will her learning the dark arts, the dark magic, demon magic, give new life to her twins, Tommy, and what's the name of the other kid? Yeah, just the twins, because in the comics, the twins are actually born from the soul of Mephisto, essentially the devil in the MCU. So maybe they will come back, and again, that's why I said maybe they will come back. So yeah, again, so many questions. I'm excited. Personally, I thought at the end of the series where she was flying off, I thought she would just go to Doctor Strange for help, but that's not the case, and I think this is a lot more interesting than what I had originally thought. So sadly, Pietro didn't come out as the X-Men Link. We were all hoping he would be. Like, oh my god, there's so much set up for nothing. Disney, come on, what are you doing to us, man?
What are you doing?
Hopefully we get some sort of X-Men from Disney soon, and I think X-Men actually would work better as a series because the X-Men is essentially a teen drama with mutant powers. So yeah, I guess that's all our reactions to what madness has transpired in WandaVision. And yeah, we're giving it a solid 9 out of 10, and it's definitely a must watch because I think this is officially the end of phase 4 of the MCU, and it's just opened up phase 5 really well, blew everything out of the water. And what's your favorite Easter egg of WandaVision, and how do you think it will tie up to the rest of the MCU, or plot points or whatever? Comment it down below, guys. We're super excited about this series, and it made us even more excited about, of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's coming soon, guys, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. Yeah, what do you guys think? Comment your thoughts down below. We would like to hear from you guys. And of course, if you haven't even seen WandaVision yet, please like this video, and of course hit that subscribe and notification bell first, and then you can go watch WandaVision. Get a VPN or something, you know, I don't know, do something. Once again, it's me, your bearded boy, QuickSilver 15, signing off. Peace.